Well, now the latest on a potential major funding showdown between Washington and Albany. It involves a crackdown on CDL, or commercial driver's licenses to operate big trucks by undocumented individuals. More than $70 million in federal funding is at stake here. We've already seen this crackdown begin in Western New York. Channel 2's Ron Plants explains in this Two on Your Side original.
When an American and a family gets in a car, they shouldn't be worried that they have an unqualified foreigner operating an 80,000-pound big rig that could endanger their lives.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says it's the motivation behind the Trump administration's focus on CDL licenses for truck drivers issued by state DMVs, especially with undocumented or non-domiciled drivers, as they put it. The safety factor stemming from this highly publicized fatal crash on a Florida highway in August as a big rig driver said to have illegally entered from Mexico pulled an illegal U-turn. And it apparently spurred the Border Patrol arrest of 30 drivers from a wide variety of countries at Western New York truck stops along the Thruway back in November. So today, results of a federal investigation of states' DMVs issuing those CDLs and possible federal highway funding consequences unless issues are not corrected within a month.
We found the worst offender, which is the state of New York. 53% of New York's non-domiciled CDLs were issued unlawfully. New York many times won't even verify whether they have a work authorization, they have a visa, or they're in the country legally. If they come into compliance, we're going to work with them. If New York refuses to come into compliance, we are going to pull tens of millions of dollars as phase one for the state of New York.
That could be an estimated $73 million in federal funding for New York. A state DMV spokesman replied that Secretary Duffy is, quote, lying, and that New York does comply with federal CDL rules using federal immigration documents for verification. Secretary Duffy claims the state of California, under a similar funding cut warning, agreed to revoke 17,000 non-domiciled CDLs. He also cited truck driving schools with this question on legally required English proficiency for drivers.
How did they get a commercial driver's license? How did they get through the system if they don't understand the language? And that's prompted us to look at the commercial driver's license mills, the CDL mills. Businesses that stand up and they're pushing drivers through, in air quotes, their training program, which is no training program at all.
A similar opinion from some truck drivers we spoke with last month.
Some truckers, they never went to school. They just bought the CDL. And I had to go to school for a long time.
There are a lot of different ways to do things under the table. You would just have to be in the business to understand how they do it. And a lot of times you will come across those drivers who, they shouldn't even be driving.
And this from a truck driver training instructor from Colorado.
There's a lot of fraudulent trucking schools out there that just have one or two guys. They'll go ahead and say, I'm self-certified as a school, where they're actually not. And then they'll go ahead and turn around and get their guys their CDL. So that's what they're cleaning out.
On your side, Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.